Okay. Hi guys, I wanted to make a video, and I'm going to try to make a video every week of the resources that I'm sending you for activities to do with your kids. And I am showing how to do them with my 4-year-old Graham. So some of these things that I am going to be showing you, Graham can do, but your child may not necessarily be able to do it yet. But I'm going to show you how you can modify or you can do it on your own. First, what I want to tell you though is I'm including enough activities in literacy, math, and shapes for you to do one every single day, but you don't have to. So if your child does not want to sit that long or cannot do it, then don't worry about doing it. The first thing that we do at home for preschool for Graham is we do some warm up with the pre-writing strokes. So I've included this one for you to use this week. It's broken down by Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. Really just have them do one section a day. It doesn't really matter which one they do. They could also do more if you want to. All that Graham is going to do is practice tracing. We're going to talk about starting at the top and he stops at the bottom. I prefer to use crayons at home because as you'll see when he grips it, it helps, the smaller it is, it helps them grasp it correctly. So if I give him the big pencil, he might grab it up higher, he might fist it, which I know some of your kids are working on doing. So I just find that the crayon is the easiest. Okay, Graham, I just want you to do this top one, okay? I'm gonna do 2 of them with you and then you're gonna do it, okay? So ready, start at the top, down, step. Down, step. Okay, you do the rest. He's not going to stay on the lines. He does his very best and he's really close, but he's also just turned 4 and this isn't always super fun for him. So it's not a big deal. This is an activity that he can do on his own. It's just practicing those pre-writing strokes. Now, if you don't have a printer at home or you don't want to print them out, you can make your own just looking at this. So just use a highlighter, or my other favorite tool that I don't know where I put it is a yellow marker, but you just make the lines. You could make them as big or as little as you want to, and then they can practice it on their own. Okay, stop. We're just doing the top one today, okay? Now the next thing that we do is he practices his name twice. Graham cannot write his name on his own. If he could, what are you doing? If he could, I would just print his name. I would have it written down and he would copy it for me, or I would just say, can you write your name on your own? But he can't. He's not at that point yet. So what I do is just on the back of his paper or on a blank paper, I write his name with the highlighter or again with the yellow pencil, anything that they can trace. I write it 2 times. Now I want him to see it and practice it exactly how it's written. Uppercase letters are easier for kids, but we always do their name exactly how it is written. So I would normally do this twice. I'm just gonna do it once for this video, and then we practice spelling his name. Okay, so ready? Spell, what's that one? M. So he doesn't spell all of his name. He always misses that first A, but we just point to each letter, we practice and say it. Sometimes if he gets stuck, I would go back and say G-R and then wait for him, because that repetition of the name can help them practice it too. Okay, Graham, go ahead and trace it for me. And then he's gonna trace it. Start at the top. So always encourage them to start at the top. That's what we do at school. Remember, magic C. Make the little curve. And then the little line. And they all know big curve, big line, little line. Those are the 4 things that make up each letter. Except for like J, we talk about it having a hook. That is the little curve that's still coming. But otherwise, that's the conversation that they are hearing at school. For letters. Good job, Graham. Yep. The line down and swim up and over for your M. Perfect. So you can see the tracing allows them to see how it should be made. It may not even be this clear. He has started to practice writing his name a lot this year in preschool, so he's getting pretty good at it, but that's what we're expecting. So then we're moving on. You can always practice it again, practice writing or spelling their name again. And then the next thing that I have, I've sent you these sheets. It's A through E for you to do one every single day. So Graham, as we learned, does not know what lowercase letter this is, but what's this letter? It's A. Allie, alligator, ah, ah, ah. So we can work on the zoophonics. So if your child knows it, still do the letter because they are finding all of the letters on these pages and it helps with fluency, and a lot of them probably don't know the lowercase, so it can help with that too. So Graham, I just want you to find all the A's in here. So that's the simple direction for that. Okay, they're gonna match this one or this one. So like, what's this one?
The capital A.
Well, it's a lowercase a, but circle it for me. Oh, you don't have to trace it, buddy. We can just circle it, or you could color it. Okay, so that's something they can do on their own, and then you can just check back that they are actually getting it and matching it. Good job, you found another one. So I sent you A through E for this week to do. Perfect. Okay. Okay, good. Hold on, stop. Good job, you found another one. Good. So now what we would do after he would do all the page, let's practice writing the letter A. So I know he doesn't know how to do it, so I'm going to write it for him. Otherwise, you could write one model. You could ask them to then write it on their own 5 times. You could challenge them to do the lowercase if they know the uppercase. But here, Graham, what letter is this again?
A.
A, good job. Okay, I'm going to have you practice writing 2 A's, okay? So it's big diagonal line down, jump back to the top, diagonal line down, little line across, okay? So start at the top. So that's what you would have them do to practice that letter for the day also. The next thing that I have for you guys is this math scavenger hunt, because this doesn't require anything. You can just read it at home. So I've included this also in the lessons, and you can change it and do it however you want. So like the first one says, find 2 pencils and 1 blue crayon. How many items do you have now? So those are easy things that they could find, and it's also something that they could do independently to bring it back to you. Good job, Graham. Nice work. So I would tell Graham, find 2 pencils and 1 blue crayon. So that could work on colors also. Or if I know that he needs to work only on colors, I might say, find 1 red crayon, 1 blue crayon. Have him find them, bring them back. Or find 1 red car, 1 blue car. And then we would count it. So let's pretend that he did it. He brings me back a blue crayon and 2 pencils. So now I'm going to ask Graham, how many do you have all together? 3. So Graham can count it and he can count to 3. If your child can't count to 3, you just help them. Say it together. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And demonstrate pointing to each item for them. So Graham, how do we make a 3?
You don't want it like a circle. You just do little lines and do a long line up the top.
Oh, you're close. So Graham doesn't know how to make a 3, so that's okay. So I'm going to show him, because this just helps reinforce the number for him. So look, 3 is around the tree, around the tree. That's the way we make a 3. Good job. And so then he could trace it, or it could just be something that we're practicing. So you could go through all of the math scavenger hunt. You could change it. You could add to it. Can you cover your mouth, please? And these ones are all pretty simple. It's all counting under 10. Graham, no thank you. So you can continue to work on that. So that's an easy one that they could do on their own. So that's what I have in math. The other thing that I'm including in math is numbers 1 through 5, very similar to the letters that I'm sending you. So it's them finding the number. So they would find all the number 1s. So Graham, what number is this?
1.
1. So can you find the 1s for me? And you could have them trace it. He could just find it. He could color it. And they look different. And so this also helps with fluency, because there's a lot of different kinds of 1s on here. They're normally going to see it at school as just a big line down. But this has a lot of options so that they can learn it and you can go over it with them. You could count how many they found. You could practice writing that number or show them what that number looks like.
Mama, I found 1, 2,
Good.
3, 4, and 5.
Yep, there's more ones on there, but that's fine. The other one for some of our kids that are more advanced is filling in this missing number. So you can help them. This is the number line. You could practice counting and matching what it looks like and then having them fill in the number. So you can start them out like this is number 1.
6.
And then there's a blank and then it's 3. What number comes in between? And you can help them look.
6. I found 1, 2, 5, 6.
Good job.
7.
So you could trace it for them again. You could write that number 2. You could write it on all of them if you just want them to practice. They could write it on their own. You could help them find it on the number line and then they can write it. But this is more for like our pre-kindergarten kids that want to practice that writing. Also, just a note on this, and I normally try to send everything the way you would see it and write it. We don't write a 4 this way. The 4 is the traditional down, over, down some more is the rhyme for it, and we write it that way. So that may be harder for them. Just show them, just encourage them to practice it the way we would do it. The other thing that I am sending, okay, we're going to be done with this one, okay?
Okay.
Is some shape work. And I'm starting out with circle. I know a lot of our kids know circle, but it still can give them the confidence to be completing something that they know because they may not know some of these other things. Some of our kids don't know circle, but it also is a really good just copying and tracing. I'm including this that tells you what you could do every day, but you don't have to do this. It has a lot of good skills in this packet. It's learning the shape, there's tracing, so that writing, there's a cutting activity, there's a finding with visual discrimination, there's drawing so that they could continue it on. But you can just do what works for your child, and I've included additional instructions with the lesson page. Grammy, are you listening? So one of the easy ones that they can do on their own is just the shape tracing. It also comes with the shape, a colored picture of the shape so that you can talk about it. But they could just do this on their own while their siblings are doing schoolwork. Hold on, I'm gonna show it first. And then there's harder stuff, like there's a maze that maybe you have to trace for them after they try it. Just matching, there's counting, there's different things that they can do with it. So there's different levels in this. Just have your child do what they're interested in and what they want to do. So you also have something for shapes every single day. Some of the other things that you can do is have some independent work for them. I would really suggest making Play-Doh if you're okay with that. A lot of our kids love Play-Doh at school. It's an easy thing that they can do at the table. If you are worried about the mess, you can put it in a cookie sheet and they have to keep it in the cookie sheet. You could put it in a container that they have to stay in to keep it in. You can also even do it on your bathroom floor, like put a towel down or put a towel down on your kitchen floor, whatever you want to do, but Play-Doh is a really good option to do. Some of the other things that you can do is if you have Uno cards at home, play Go Fish with them or play Memory with them. I'm really going to ask that you play Memory this week. And so you'll take out some of the items so that you're not using the whole deck of cards. And for the younger kids, you can even just use numbers 1 through 3. Nice job, buddy. Nice doing it. See, and like Graham did not do perfect circles. That's not a big deal. He's getting the shape of it. I'm okay with that. Like, I'm not gonna correct and make this a big deal. If you need to, you could highlight it with your marker and have him trace back over it, or you could do it hand over hand to really help him. So if I was doing Memory, I would just set these out. For example, you can obviously do more than that, but you each just take a turn, flip over 2 cards. Oh, Graham, do you know what number that is?
1.
1. All right, let's see if I can find a match. Ooh, do you know what that number is?
4.
4. Are those the same?
Nope.
Nope. What's this color?
Blue.
And what's that one?
Green.
Is that the same?
Nope.
No match. So you could also do this with color without the numbers going to work on that. All right, your turn, Graham. This is also really good.
I found the mirror.
You found a match. Yes. This is good emotional regulation. He's having to take turns. He has to wait. He has to understand when he doesn't get a match. Like, I didn't get upset when I didn't get a match. Okay, let me see if I can find a match. Oh, what number?
4.
What number?
4.
Is that a match?
Yes!
Yes! And you can count your matches, so on and so forth. Uno is a good one just because it really can work on the colors. You could also just use a deck of cards. Again, take out the numbers that you don't want to work with. Some of our pre-kindergarten kids could handle a whole deck of cards for memory, so you could definitely do that.
Mama, can I do that?
In a little bit. We're not going to do it right now. Something else, get out a coloring book and have them color. Ask them to use a certain amount of colors. That's something that they can do as an independent activity. You can also do sorting activities, and you could use a variety of containers. These are just 2 containers that I have right now. You could use tiny Tupperware containers. You could use empty tissue boxes, shoe boxes. You can use the baby wipes because that has an easy in and out. But you could just set up sorting for them. So, Graham, we are going to sort our cars. So look, I want all the blue cars in this tub, and I want the red cars in this tub. So I'm showing him what I want so that he has a reference. You could also like put a sticker on it or a piece of paper in there so that they know. So Graham, where would that car go? Nice job in the red tub. So this is matching, which is really good for our kids.
I see a yellow car.
Where would the yellow car go?
In here, not in here.
It doesn't have a spot, does it?
Nope.
So that's good things too. You can throw in some mix up, or you can have 3, or just a multitude. If you have a whole bunch of cars, you can do that with Legos too. Those are easy ones to sort. You could also sort by the type of it, so whether they're long or short. So you could do lots of things with sorting, and you could sort anything you want. You could sort your silverware. You could sort for play food or play dishes if you have some of those. Blocks, any kind of blocks, beads if you have them, buttons if you have them at home, or another great sorting, erasers. If you have a whole drawer of just mismatched stuff, that is a great thing for kids to sort, and you could have them sort by how they use it too. The last few things that I have, if you have a potato head at home, that is a great independent activity. Card matching, so you could just have them get out all the Uno cards and have them match, like yellows in a pile, greens in a pile,
Mama, this is a Hot Wheel.
Numbers in a pile. You could do whatever you wanted.
This is a Hot Wheel.
Yep. You can also access any of those websites that I'm also sending you this week on that resource list. You could use completing your table work as a reward to get on the websites. And most of these things that I'm having on here too, if you don't want to print it out, you can write it out and make it for them. And the other thing that I'm going to have you really do this week is to read a book. And so I'm just going to demonstrate what reading a book would look like, just very quickly. Let's see. I should have grabbed a book. I meant to grab a book. Okay, so Graham, can you go grab me a book? Go grab one of your books really quick. So here's why it's important to read a book. You know, a lot of our kids are struggling with language and with sounds. That's a great thing that you can work on during the book. I know that Erica, no, put your gun down, go get a book, quick, because we're almost done, hurry. Downstairs on your bookshelf. And see, we deal with forgetting directions and doing things like that at home too. So anyway, the books can help with the language. I'm going to show you some questions that you can talk about, also some of the social emotional things that you can talk about. And it is a good target for sounds. So if you know your child's working on the K sound or the G sound, you can practice those as you're going through the book without it being like a big drill and repetition. So that is one thing that I would really like you to do this week, is to read a book. Okay, come here. Let's practice our book. Okay, we're just gonna do a few things. So he got this book. So the first thing I'm gonna do is ask him, Graham, what's on our book?
A giraffe.
What else?
I don't know what.
Yep, those are words. You know this word though, that starts with your name or letter. What letter is that? G. That says giraffes can't dance.
R.
Yep, there's an R in there. So you can do things like this. Have them pick out the letters they know, and you can tell them the letters they don't know.
I don't have an F in my name.
No, you don't have an F in your name. Look, what else is down here?
S.
Good, yep. What else is down here?
A monkey.
So what do you think this book is about?
Up here,
Listen to my question. What do you think this book is about?
another question.
No, that's the title of the book. What do you think this book is about? What do you see on here?
A giraffe dancing.
A giraffe dancing? Okay, let's see. It's easy to count when you're reading a book. Like we could count how many monkeys are on this page. Talk about these different animals. So the one thing that we could do, Tyler! So Gerald was a tall giraffe whose neck was long and slim. So we could talk about long and slim. We can show like this one's long. Is your neck long?
No, it's short.
Short. So you can talk about those different opposite words in there. But his knees were awfully crooked and his legs were rather thin. So then we could look at, what does Gerald's face look like?
It looks like a monkey.
Is he smiling? Is he crying? Is he sad? Is he mad?
He's smiling.
He's smiling. Why do you think he's smiling?
Because he loves the leaves.
Oh yeah, because he's eating and maybe it makes his belly feel good and he likes to eat the leaves. So it's easy to talk about those things. You don't have to do it on every page. You could read a couple pages and then talk about it. So then we would talk about this one where he's falling down. So then I might say, so what do you think is going to happen next, Graham?
A giraffe sometimes he falls and it hurts his leg and he runs.
Yeah, you're right.
And he eats a butterfly's leg on plants or somewhere else sometimes.
Yep. So perfect. So there's lots of good language options that you can talk about. So that's what I'm sending out for this week. I'll send you out another video next week with the lessons that we're doing. It'll be a lot shorter because we'll just go through these things not as in depth. If you have any questions, just let me know. Email me back. And otherwise, I hope you guys find this helpful. And we sure miss your kids. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.